So I'm on a roll making things today, and I realized that I'm out of what I call my not Vicks, as in not Vicks VapoRub. And it's really good for colds and flu. It's great for headaches. I actually use it when I get a headache. I rub it on my forehead, particularly on the temple region, and even as long as you don't get it really close to your eyes, you can rub it under your eyes. I use this because, come to find out, some of the ingredients in Vicks is actually pretty, they're pretty toxic. Namely, the camphor. Do some research on camphor. It used to be made from a plant. Now they make it from turpentine, and it's pretty toxic to children, as well as the petroleum. I don't agree with using any kind of petroleum products on my body or my family. So I make this. It's very simple. We're going to start out with about 1/8 of a cup of beeswax. I use the little white beeswax pellets. Get that all out of there. I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner on. I'm not going to turn it on very high, and I just use this little bowl. And the only thing I would caution you is to just make sure you use some kind of a mitt to grab it off the stove. And I'm going to turn it on maybe like a medium-low. Yeah, about like that. And then after the 1/8 of a cup of beeswax, I'm going to put in about 1/4 of a cup of cocoa butter. And I just get the little cocoa butter wafers. They just look like that, and they're pretty easy to measure out, and it's a lot easier to get those out than it is out of the tub if it's hardened. So there's that. And I'm going to start melting that a little. It's already starting right there. And you can hear my little doggy going through the kitchen here. Turn it down just a little bit. You don't want to burn it. You just want to melt it down there. And I'm going to go ahead and add in my coconut oil. You're going to add about 1/2 cup of coconut oil. You can use any carrier oil that you want to. And just get that all in there. Okay. And you're just going to let it all melt down in there until it's just a liquid, and I'll be back when it's melted down. Okay, so here's what you want it to look like when it's all melted down. I'm just going to move the camera over here so that you can see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. And I'm going to very carefully grab it off the stove. Actually, I'm going to get a little one with a thumb in it because I want to make sure I don't spill this. So I'm going to move it off the stove, and I'm going to let this cool for just a minute while I talk to you about, and there's something actually burning on my stove. I have no idea what that is. While I talk to you about what else you can use this for. You can actually use this, like I said, for headaches. You can use it for colds and flu, and you can also use it for your like stiff joints, muscle aches, anything like that. And this also just makes a good base for an alternative to Vaseline. So, I mean, anything that you would use Vaseline for, you can substitute this for. If you just don't want to put the essential oils in it, you can just leave it alone with no essential oils and just use it as Vaseline. But since we are going to use it as either like a cold and flu, like a Vicks VapoRub type thing, or for headaches or muscle aches, we do want to add the essential oils in. And now that I've had it off the burner for a minute or two, I'm going to go ahead and add my essential oils. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take peppermint, and I'm going to put around 20 drops of peppermint. I'm going to smell it when I'm done, but for right now I'm going to do 20. That's around 20. That's close enough. And then I'm going to add some eucalyptus. You're going to add a little less of the eucalyptus at first. So let's do about 15 drops. Okay. And we're going to put some rosemary in there. These three together work so well for the things I mentioned above. There's around 10. We're going to do around 15 drops of rosemary for right now. And then I'm going to stir it again. And you can just go like this and you can see if it's strong enough. And it's definitely not strong enough. This is actually a double batch from what I'm used to making because the tin was bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more oils. I'm going to add about 20 more of the peppermint because it is a double batch. Okay. I don't like to waste oil. And then maybe about 15 more rosemary. Okay. And then we're going to add about 10 more of the eucalyptus. And as with anything, you can play around with it. Just make sure that you always have your oils diluted sufficiently because you don't want it too strong. That can be a bad thing. There's always, you can have too much of a good thing. And that's probably going to do it. Yeah, that's really nice and strong right there. But not too strong. So then, again, you're going to very carefully lift your bowl because it is really hot. And you're going to just pour this into your container. And I always put something on the counter because I'm pretty messy. I spill a lot, so, and this was the perfect amount to put in this container. I'm just going to try to get all of my product out. I don't want to waste anything. Let's take the little spatula and try to get it all out. And it will harden up. And the consistency is pretty much like your normal VapoRub. So, I hope you found this useful. This is really, really good. I mean, it works wonders. It really does. I have used it on my children several times. Goodness. I've used it on myself more times than I'd like to count just for headaches. But when we get colds or the flu, even if you just have allergies, this is great. And it's safe. That's the important thing, is that it's completely safe. As long as you dilute your oils the way you're supposed to and you don't do overkill on your oils, they're very safe to use, and it sure is a whole lot better than the alternative. I can't stress enough how important it is to not use products like that when you have better options. So thanks for watching, and if you do try this and you make it, or if you have any questions, if I left anything out or you don't understand something that I said, please leave them in the comments, and I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks for watching.